What's up, everybody? It is Amrinder Singh, and today we're going to talk about Punjabi accents basically. So, how you can recognize somebody, which area he belongs to in Punjab, all right? What kind of accent he speaks, all right? You can also recognize that person after listening this, or it would also help you to understand Punjabi people because in Punjab people speak different accent. Mostly it's not much about like the way we pronounce the words. Yeah, maybe sometimes a little bit difference. It's mostly the word choice, right? And there are a couple of words we use differently. Like there are a lot of words being chosen in Malba, but not like a Dababa or Maja, something like that, right? So it would help you to understand the accent, or it would also give you some new words so you can learn some vocabulary, right? There's some like a specific vocabulary related to these areas which probably didn't exist in the books, all right? So that's what I'm gonna teach you today. Before I start the lesson, if you like this podcast, then you can support this podcast through PayPal and Patreon. I would really appreciate it. It would help this podcast to grow more, all right? So links are in the description. Now let's get started. So there are many accents in Punjabi language. Basically, some accents are so weird. Like sometimes it looks like they are speaking another language. Even for us to, it's hard for us to understand them, right? But basically, if I talk about Punjabi, like four accents, which are pretty similar. Basically, the three accents, like a Majha, Dawaba, Malba, all right? They are very similar. If somebody is speaking, you feel like he's speaking Punjabi. Even the another accent is like a Lenda or Lendi, which is spoken Pakistani. Some people also call it Multani. It's also pretty similar. So it's also like a clear that sometimes there are a little bit difference. So yeah, I think these four accents are pretty like similar. All right. Another thing they could have also like a sub accent. Like even I know in Malwa we have a little bit sub accent as well. All right. And there's other accents, or you can say just dialogues, which is like called Puadi, Potawari, Kangra, whatever the hell it is. And they are those accents so weird, honestly. All right. Anyway, now I'm gonna talk about a couple of accents which are more popular. All right. So number one, we're gonna talk about the Malba accent, which is my accent. So this accent is spoken basically in Punjab in India, not in Pakistan. All right, Indian Punjab, and it's spoken in South Punjab. All right, toward the south, the southern part. Basically, the core area of the Malba accent is Batinda, Mansa, Sangrur, and Barnala. Right? These are the core. There are also other areas, other like other districts, like some part of Patiala, Ludhiana, also Malwa, but Ludhiana is like also influenced by the Baba because that's close to the Baba, right? So this is most spoken like most of the people is speaks Malwa accent in Punjab and India, right? Because this is the bigger area. So what is the difference you would see here? All right. I talked about many times. When we speak present continuous tense, we say Janna or Jania. If a girl is Jani, right? My TV dekhi jana, my khedi jana, whatever. We don't say my khel raha, right? This is the number one. You can recognize from this one when we use Janna, all right? I'm not going to like in depth in that one because I just talked about it a lot, all right? So this number one present continuous tense, when somebody is speaking, you can recognize that person because he is from Malabar. All right. Another, we hear, I think it could be in other accent as well, but especially in our accent. A lot of times we eliminate the R sound at the beginning. All right. If the R sound is the beginning, we just eliminate that. Let's say if I want to say like a cut means crowd, a cut. All right. We don't pronounce R. We don't say a cut. We just say cut. All right. We eliminate the R sound. Like another word, 18, all right? 18 means like 18, all right? 18, 18. We don't say ah, we just say 18, all right? So you can also recognize we don't pronounce ah, not maybe all the time, but most of the words we don't say like ah sound at the beginning. We just eliminate that one. And another popular word is loon, which is salt, but we don't say loon. We don't pronounce with L. We pronounce with N, all right? Noon. We say noon. We don't say loon, all right? And another big example, you would notice what we say. We don't say like a mereton, all right? Tereton, all right? Like a from me, mereton, from you, tereton. We don't say that, mereto, tereto. We say maiton, taiton, right? Meto means mereton, teto means tereton. Another word like a soda, it means your, right? Another word is thoda, all right? Soda and thoda is basically same thing. Another word like a saton, like from us, all right? Soton, from you, all right? Basically, these words are different. Maybe other people from other section, they pronounce it properly, like in the books. Like sato means like a hard datum, right? Soto means the hard datum, all right? It's so weird. Probably if you learn in the books like a the hard datum, right? We don't say the hard datum, we just say soto, all right? So keep in mind this kind of stuff is going to spoken in Malba. So another in some area of Malba is spoken T instead of C at then, right? Some people say T. मैं उत्ते गया थी, right? I went there. Like even I will say like मैं उत्ते गया सी, all right? But in some area of the Malba, not all, all right? This is basically some area in like a Sanam, right? Sanam is basically a city. Around those villages, they pronounce like T. Maybe other people, they pronounce T, right? In past, but mostly people pronounce C in Malba, all right? So if somebody is spoken T, you can notice that person, all right, at the end. Another thing we do, V sound, right? In Punjabi, Baba and Baba. In English, like a B sound, like a B for bat, and V sound, like a V for van. We basically pronounce same. There's no difference. We just like exchange to like those two words, right? And we don't know what kind of sound we are gonna make. We completely mix these two words, all right, in the Malba. That's why we also do it in English as well, all right. Another word when we have to ask like how are you doing, right? We say kimea or we say like a kihala, right? In other area like Dawaba, they say kidda, right? Kidda. We don't say kidda, we say kimea mostly, or we can say kihala. Another popular word you can recognize us, we don't say vada, we say ala, all right? Ala means like if something, if some person or anything is belong to someone, we use it like a in on overall Punjabi is like a vada, right? But we say ala. Like if I give you example, all right. Some people call their brother to Sade ala, all right. Sade ala. It means that person belongs to us, all right. It means he's my brother. Like if you see the name of the singer like a Sidhu Moose-ala, all right. Sidhu Moose-ala, all right. It means the guy Sidhu who is from Musa village. He belongs to Musa, all right. When the vada is used or ala is used, it means that person is belong to that place, all right. Now it's vada. Actually, word is vada, but in Malwa we don't use vada. We say ala, all right. So yeah, vada and ala is same thing. In Malwa, most of the people say ala, all right. Another word is most popular bar. Bar means basically door, all right, door. So it is darwaja. Basically, a lot of people pronounce dwaba from other accent. I think darwaja. There are a couple of other names, darwaja, buha, dar, all right, which means basically door. I think in Dawaba people, a lot of people use bua, right, bua, and some people maybe call darwaja. In Malwa, yeah, some people also call darwaja, but most of the time we say bar, which means door, all right. So if somebody is using bar, it means he is from Malwa. Okay, now what I told you, right? So this thing is mostly spoken, not mostly. I mean, there will be some of the things I told you. Maybe it's not going to spoken in some area of the Malwa. Like I already told you, like a Ludhiana, right? They have also an influence of Doaba. So some things. But if you talk about the core Malwa accent, Bhathinda, Mansa, Sangrur, Barnala. So, all right, these kind of people speak like that. All right. Now let's move to the another accent, Majha accent. All right. So this accent, Majha, is spoken in India and Pakistan, both area of the Punjab. All right. In India, it's Amritsar, Gurdaspur, Tarn. These kind of basically area, the north side of the Punjab. In Pakistan, like they say Lahore, Faisalabad, stuff like that. They also spoken the Majha accent. Again, this accent it could have also maybe sub accent as well, like we have in Malwa. Like some people use D, all right. So it could have also, right. Mostly, I'm talking about the overall general, right, which is most popular. So from here, I notice people use like a at the end. Like if I give you example, like let's say if I want to ask somebody, "Hey, where are you going?" I would say, "Tu kithe jana?" Right? "Tu kithe jana" or "Tu kithe jana?" And in this area, people say, "Tu kithe janda hai? Tu kithe janda hai? Tu ki karda hai?" Right? "What you doing? Tu ki karda hai?" We say like, "Tu ki kari jana?" All right? Yeah, or we say, "Tu ki karda?" All right? They choose a at the end. All right? Ki karda hai. And they also use some like we say, "ਮੈਂ ਆ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ," right? ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਛੋਟਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ, ਮੈਂ ਖੇਡਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ, all right? When I was a child, I used to play, right? ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਛੋਟਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ, ਖੇਡਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ. That's how we say in Malwa, but they say a little different. Like ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਛੋਟਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੀ, right? ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੀ, did not say C. Not all. I can't say all, but some area I like heard some people or listen myself. Some people speaks like that. It doesn't mean like all the Maja people speaks like that. It could be different some area. All right. ਕਰਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਛੋਟਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੀ some people say e, right? And some people I think it's also from Maja, they say ਸਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਛੋਟਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸਾਂ ਇਹ ਕਰਦਾ ਸਾਂ, all right? Some people say ਸਾਂ, so the ending could be a lot different, all right? So I'm not sure even this word ਸਾਂ is used in Maja or the Baba. Well, some people I heard who spoke like that, all right? And some people also use J, all right? Like, tu kithe jana J, all right? I will say, tu kithe jana, where you going? Tu kithe jana J, it also means we're going, all right? So I can't tell you like a specific area in this because I'm not from that area, but I like listen this kind of variation, all right? The ending is a lot different. E, sa, J, something like that in this area, all right? Another popular is here in Maja, people say, "Dea, tu ki karan dea?" Right? What you doing? Tu ki karan dea? Something like that, all right? Dea is also pretty popular here. Like, tu ki karda hai, they could also say, "Tu ki karda hai, tu ki karan dea," something like that, all right? It depends on the area, I think. So, ki karda hai probably also being spoken the Baba. I'm not sure. I could maybe mix the Baba and Maja here, but what I know, that's what I'm doing. I could be a little bit wrong in those accents, all right? Because I'm from Malwa. Mostly I know from Malwa. So I'm not like 100% sure all the time about this accent, all right? But mostly people speaks like that. Another they say like a like I told you, like we say when we gonna use it like if I have to say tohada, it means yours, right? I was soda. Some people in Malwa say thoda. Soda and thoda is basically the same thing spoken in Malwa. And here they say tada, right? Tada. So that's the thing. Another thing, they couple of use word like if they have to say like a something in the middle, right? Middle in Punjabi is vichkar, and we say bachale. In Maja they say gabbe, and that's so weird. Gabbe hoya, right? Gabbe hoya, it means come to the middle. Another word they use lage. Lage means near, right? We say near aja, like come to me. come near to me, nede aaja. They will say lagge aaja, right? It means also near. And another thing, I think some people from here, I'm not sure all, some people for sure, when we have to call, say like a brother, in Malwa we say bhai, right? Ki hala bhai, whatever, even to the stranger, they mostly use pau, ki hala pau, right? It means also brother. Like in the Baba, a lot of people say paji, right? Or ki hala paji, right? So this was the Maja accent. Now let's move to the Dababa accent. And this accent, mostly you would recognize from if somebody is saying to you like anybody Paji, it means he's from the Baba mostly. They also use Kidda a lot. So another thing is they use the name of the countries is a little different than us. Like we say Canada, they say Canada, Canada, all right? We say America, they say Ameriki, all right? They use K sound like that. Uta Amerike gaya, all right? That's all they say. Probably not all people, but a lot of people say like that. And this area people, I think at the beginning, and the most of the Punjabi people who went abroad, basically other countries, Western countries, and most of the people from these countries. That's why a lot of people I heard like mostly the people from like a UK who are learning Punjabi, whatever, they are calling like a Paji because that's the word they learn from the Punjabi people. And most of the Punjabi people who like went abroad like a 30, 40 years ago, they were from this area, right? Malwa, it didn't went like a mostly like a nowadays. I think Malwa could be number one of the people who is going to abroad, but it's still new in Malwa. It's just happened, I think, last maybe like a less than 10 year, right? In less than 10 year, maybe 8, 9 year, 10 year, most of the people who are going abroad this Malwa, but older there were very few people who went to other countries or who the people who immigrant other countries, all right? So basically the younger generation who is living there, right? Basically the people who are new there just arrived there for last 8 or 10 years. Most of the people there from Malwa, but the older people, the second generation, living there, right? Most of the people they are from the Baba area, all right? I'm not saying all. There will be some people who is from Malwa and they're living there as a second generation as well, but they are very rare, all right? So that's the difference. Another thing, they say bua. If they have to say door, they say bua, right? So we say in Malwa bar. So that's the difference of the accents. And if it looks a little bit complicated for you, because I told you a lot of things. If you just want to recognize a person, mostly, let's say you want to recognize somebody is from Malwa. Number one is if he's calling by to people, he's from Malwa. Number one, by, all right? If he's using present continuous tense as like a kari jana, khidi jana, uth jai jana, he's also from Malwa, all right? Another thing, if he is eliminate the R sound, he's from Malwa. I think it could maybe other people can do that. If you just keep in mind, in other words, like if somebody is using Maithon, Taithon, Malwa, all right, three things. Only keep in mind three things. Maithon, Taithon, something like somebody is using, or somebody is using Bai, and if somebody is using, like I told you already, present continuous tense, like a tunki kari and nama TV, stuff like that person's from Malwa. All right. Now in Majha, most of the people you would notice like a dai, tunki karan dai, something like that. It means that person's from Malwa. And from Tababa, if somebody is using Kitta, Paji, stuff like that, Canada, America, country names, right? That person most likely to the Baba. All right. So these were the three main accents. Now, if we go, there's also another accent, Puadi. Basically, this accent spoken around like a Chandigarh, and it has a lot of influence of Haryanvi language. All right. And that's so weird. Even I heard them, I can understand them, but sometimes, yeah, because it seems like sometimes they're speaking so like it seems like they're speaking Punjabi and then they mix the words and you like a what the hell they're talking about. And so like a few words, like if somebody is using thare, mare, all right, then mare to basically mare means like a Sunday, all right. If I want to say like a Sade bahut rakhta. Like we have a lot of trees. I will say sade bahut rakhta. All right. They don't use sade. All right. They say mare. Mare to bahut rakhte. Something like that. All right. Mare to. Like if I want to ask like sode kinni garmi hai? How much hot air is there? Like where you live, right? We say sode kinni garmi. They say thare. Thare kinni garmi. Something like that. Basically, you can see it has a lot of difference than other accent. Like everybody, we say Sade. Even person is from Malwa, the Baba, right? They Sade, right? It means our, my place, whatever, right? Sade kare, Sade kar, whatever. They don't say Sada, they say Mara, Mare kare. Alright, that's why it becomes so weird when they spoke like that. And honestly, I didn't know this accent until internet came. All right, because whenever I actually like went to like a visit Chandigarh very rarely, but whenever you go to the Chandigarh, most of the people, the some people speaking Hindi, some people speaking like a proper Punjabi. Most of the people you don't find from the villages around them, right? You don't know. And I found it through the internet, and people are speaking like that, and it's so weird. Actually, I also met some people like that recently who were saying like that, and I found it so weird. Yeah, this language was not popular at all, Punjab, but now it's a little bit like getting popular because of the internet. All right. There's also other accents, like I already told you, Multani. They say like I couldn't think like some specific word. Like I think they say like andai, right? Like in Punjabi we say oh aundaga, right? They say oh andai, something like that. I didn't listen this accent much, but I listen like when somebody say some videos, they say that's Lendi accent. When they're spoken Punjabi, it's not that weird, honestly. It still feel like somebody is speaking Punjabi, but there are few words you would notice like it's a little different. Yeah, but this accent, Lendi or Multani people say in Pakistan, this is also pretty similar, right? So basically, I would say there's also other accent like in Pakistan as well, like a Patwari. Those accents so weird, honestly. I have no idea what they're talking about, right? Sometimes so hard to understand them because they use so different words which didn't exist even our language, basically the core Punjabi, all right? So even in India, there's some other accent like a Dogri, Kangadi. It seems so weird. If somebody is speaking, I could understand like a half of maybe 50%, something like that. I can guess what they're saying, but it's not like a clear communication with those accents, right? Because they're so weird. They have a lot of influence on like other languages, all right? So when it comes to understanding Punjabi accent, most clear accent, which basically popular, Malaba, Majha, Dawaba. This is the most clear. Another I can say like a Lenda is also pretty clear. You can understand. And after that came like a Puadi. It's a little hard, not like they say Mare, Thare. It's a little bit hard. Maybe it's harder for the non-native speaker, but for us, we can almost get what they're saying. I think 90% of the time. But other accent like a Potwari, Kangri, whatever the hell, I only like listen through the internet. I never saw somebody speaking like that, but on the internet I saw, and they are so weird. I couldn't get completely what they're saying. It's just 50-50. You just guessing, all right? So these were the accents I just want to tell you so you can recognize. If you just want to recognize a person where they are from, you can recognize because of that. Or it would also help you to understand Punjabi, some colloquial word which is only spoken in a specific area, all right? So, if you think you are learning something new from this podcast, please support this podcast on Patreon or through PayPal. I would really appreciate it. Or if you wanna take private lessons from me, then you can contact me through Patreon or Telegram or through my email. All the links are in the description. At the end, if you are listening to this podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, then you can give it to 5 star. It would help this podcast to spread to the more people. I would really appreciate it as well. Another thing, if you are struggling with Punjabi pronouns, then check out my ebook about Punjabi pronouns. All the links are in the description. I hope you enjoyed the lesson and learned something new today. I'll be back with another lesson another day.